There is a taste in here that you cannot find in other vegetables. And the more you eat, the more it's become tasty and you keep on, asking for it.
What this farmer in Hawaii is talking about is not a vegetable, it's a tree. And while Vicky Domingo says it has an unusual flavor, there's more to this tree than meets the taste buds.
You keep on eating and eating and you can feel your body is more energetic, more healthy, and you can see the difference. You're not dropping, you keep on, just so active. You have to remove one by one like this.
Domingo says she has grown this tree on her farm for more than 25 years. She harvests moringa twice a week all year round. Every week, Domingo sends 1,000 pounds of moringa to the mainland. The rest of it ends up here at a Honolulu farmer's market, where most of her customers have eaten it their entire lives.
Well, in the Philippines, it's a third country. In other words, not a rich country. We cannot afford to go to the doctor for medicinal purposes. So we use this in our daily lives so we can have more energy, more vitamins to supplement our daily nutrition in our body.
The tree is called moringa, or as the Filipinos call it, marrungay.
An awful lot of cultures have one or more plants that are kind of markers that people think of themselves when they think of that plant.
Dr. Will McClatchy is an ethnobotanist at the University of Hawaii. He studies the ways that humans interact with plants.
If you drive around Honolulu here, you'll see a lot of houses have at least one marrungay in the yard, maybe a little forest of them, and that's a pretty good indicator that there's a Filipino family there.
Jokingly, we say it our Filipino banner, which is our Filipino flag. Once you see this, that means, oh, Filipino stays there.
Domingo says there are many nutritional and medicinal uses for moringa.
All parts of the tree are usable, from the roots to the stem, to the leaves, to the flowers, and to the pod. The roots, you can use that as a tea. And then the trunk, you can scrape it, squeeze it, get the juice, put in your cut skin, and your skin will heal.
Some of this may be folktale, but some cultures have used moringa as a medicinal plant for thousands of years. McClatchy says moringa is worthy of its reputation as a tree with unusual nutritional properties.
Thank you. Moringa is one of these trees that is a multi-purpose plant that fulfills such a high percentage of kind of basic needs that when people get used to using it, they really can't see what it's like to live without it.
And many cultures don't. Today, moringa is used as a remedy and, in essence, a multivitamin in many of the world's warmest regions.
Moringa is used widely in Africa and South Asia, and it's been introduced into South America and Central America, where it's also being used. So, this is not just a plant of a single community.
We were just talking this morning with one of the owners of this plantation, and he was just telling me how the last time he was here, he had a handful of moringa leaves and that he worked all morning on it and felt great.
Dr. Mark Olson is a botanist and a leading expert on moringa. He teaches at Instituto de Biología, Universidad Nacional Autónoma de México in Mexico City. Here, he is visiting a new moringa farm about 2 hours outside the city limits.
So they've just planted these here, and soon they'll be nice and big.
Olson says that while moringa can grow in places like Mexico or Hawaii, the tree is native to arid subtropical regions, places like Africa and southern India, hot places where moringa has proven its persistence.
And this is a plant that really does do extraordinarily well in some of the most difficult areas, in areas that are very hot, areas that are very dry, areas where other things are very difficult to cultivate. Look at the little tuber there. This is one of the reasons it survives so well in dry areas. Also, they're storing lots of water in the wood. So that's one of the reasons this is such a remarkable tree. They don't have particularly deep roots. That's sort of a myth about moringas, that they survive because they have deep roots. No, they're storing water in their roots and their trunk.
But moringa, says Olson, does a lot more than just survive, despite the tree's sometimes scraggly appearance.
I don't think they're actually the most attractive tree. They're more a tree that you look at and you sort of love the way you love a scruffy friend or a scruffy dog. Because the branches sort of splay here and there, and they get burdened down with huge quantities of fruits on them. And that's actually what makes the tree so remarkable, is that it's such a generous tree.
And that's because people have found multiple uses for so much of the tree, including its seeds.
They're full of oil. You press the seeds, and then this wonderful aromatic oil comes oozing out, which you can use for cooking, you can use for cosmetics or lubrication or whatever. And the cake, the press cake, the stuff that's left over after pressing the seed, that is what's used for water purification.
Water purification, Olson says, is especially useful in developing countries where clean water is hard to come by. But the benefits don't stop there.
Some of the things I think are most exciting about moringa is, for example, the high vitamin content. There's a lot of vitamin A in the leaves. And worldwide, that's a problem. A lot of people have problems in development of their eyes because they don't have enough vitamin A.
Moringa's vitamin A content, and its content of vitamins in general, has caught the attention of scientists around the world.
So I started to read about moringa, and I was absolutely amazed about the richness in nutrients, in many antioxidant compounds, in vitamins.
Dr. Monica Marcoux is a pharmacologist who has studied many plants. She has done extensive research on moringa and says it has significant nutritional potency. This subject is one of the topics of her recently published book, Miracle Tree.
To me, it was just a natural pathway from my scientific background and my love for trees to writing this exciting book on one of the most exciting and extraordinary trees of our world.
Marcoux spends much of her time looking at trees and plants, both as a pharmacologist and as an artist. While Marcoux, the nature photographer, is grabbing shots of plants, Marcoux, the pharmacologist, says she has a bigger concern.
We are having an epidemic of cancer and cardiovascular diseases and many other chronic diseases. It's because we basically do not eat what we are supposed to eat. Most of the plants are famous for a particular type of nutrient, like for instance, the orange or the lemon is famous for a high content of vitamin C. The spinach, for instance, on the other hand, is famous for its iron content. Moringa is very unusual because this single plant contains a wide variety of nutrients, but also in quite very high amounts.
When I planted those moringa in Mecca, around 5 acres, actually they're selling the fruits or plants here in LA to the Indian people and to the Asian, $5 a pound, actually. And then when Rocky Friends, the wife Alice, who is we are born at the same province. Actually, Rocky and me at the same age. We are born 1957. We are the baby boomer. Then I told the wife, okay, you are from Leyte also. You know the moringa or the Marrungay. Maybe you can use that because Alice had this diagnosed with the breast cancer. Actually, perfect in this place, and you see how big is the tree. 2002, when I was doing my feasibility study in aquaculture regarding the live market of tilapia. Anyway, one of the problems that I was able to encounter that I observed, especially because in Coachella Valley, most of the tilapia farm are producing their own fingerlings. Anyway, the most expensive feeds are the feeds for fry and fingerlings. It should consist of high protein, high of these vitamins, high of that, this and that and that. So you must need a superfood for fry and fingerlings. And I am from the Philippines, and we have a tree over there that we use that is high on everything. That's proven scientifically. The moringa, or we call it the malunggay. So So when I saw the Marrungay that was there in the farm that they're using just for like a vegetable or part, but not really. So I suggested to Rocky about having this kind of research and study using malunggay to be used as for feeding to be used for hatchery, for feeding the fry and the fingerlings. However, after we planted that Moringa 2003 in Mecca, around 5 acres, and now Rocky is now using it now as part of his industrial feeding of tilapia. So now he's producing now his own feeds aside from he got now the energy, the solar power and everything. So now you can see now the what we have projected or our vision before that's now coming and being implemented. And red tilapia that I'm trying to purify. This is the only video that I was able to save. It's so important. And now comparing it now, because Rocky even accepted that it's really hard to have this red and golden orange, and as an evidence, I have put the video right now. You get only few of them. Actually, these are my F2s and my F3s of my red tilapia and golden orange when I'm doing my research and development of the food stock of these reds way back 2002. And it's the only video that I was able to save. And it's how important those videos in aquaculture is the only proof that I have done it. And Rocky accepted that it's really hard. Right now you can see you don't have that reds that what I'm showing in comparison. Some of the modern equipment that Aqua Farming Tech is using, especially there's the backhoe. Okay. And demonstrate here to give the evidence that we are here. And this is his F-150. And that is the trailer that I stayed when I was here in Aqua Farming way back 2003, 2007. And these are the 60-footer tank that's part of the modular stacking. From 30-footer and 60-footer, and then this is the like where they do the maintenance, and this is where Rocky Friends before stayed, and then we have their full grow tank. So now they aside from the so now they mix even the fruits and the seeds. Because we're going to plant in LA. This is now the place where they do or manufacture their feeds. Mixed specific. And they're the first one. Aqua Farming Tech is again the first one to use moringa for naturalized tilapia farming. This is some of the mixture that Rocky Friends is doing. They mix it with barley. You see, high energy feed. Barley, and then we have here for processed flour for calcium. Okay, then we have here a combination of different type of we call that corn or mixture of different or chicken or what, and then moringa. So now they have a different kind of formulation. Okay, this is the moringa tree that the worker of Rocky have harvested all those small branches. That's the way they do that. This moringa, because winter time is coming, and it will grow again because there's some moringa here that they use because every part of this plant or this tree can be used. It's high in all the energy and protein and everything. And this moringa, in Africa they call it never die tree because this tree will again sprout and be like that tree over there. So this is really amazing how this tree cannot be said. It's really amazing. These are big. We planted this one maybe 2008 or maybe 2000. Maybe Rocky planted it around 2010. And now, these are the fingerlings in the 30-footer here in Aqua Farming Tech. Okay, a combination of the normal tilapia and you can see some reds. So the 30-footer, where they grow from fry to fingerlings. So there you are, and those are the tilapia, the normal ones. And you can see the moringa tree. So we're here with these are the 30-footer for the grow out for as you can see here, you see all these tilapia are coming now because they're thinking I'm going to feed them. That is really beautiful because they just start, even the tilapia, they're not even afraid because they think it's time for feeding. There you are. See that? That's really beautiful. They're coming here. They're like trained already. They see a human being. They think they're ready for feeding. That even the fish can be trained. You see that? This is a documentation that really, you see, they're coming all over. There you are. They're jumping. Feed me, feed me. Beautiful. We are ready to go back to LA after informing Rocky that I lost the videos that we have. And so this is the place where I stayed before when I'm doing my intensive tilapia farming, and those are just passed by the solar panel that is now. We have here the solar panel, and this is the grow out tank. Okay, and these are the solar panel. So now Aqua Farming Tech is self-sustaining in electricity and at the same time also in feeds. And you go there straight, no, straight, yeah. So the solar panel that is now over here, I think this is more than almost 10 acres, okay, of solar panel. Man, this is a lot of solar panels that is now, because this is the one that they're using right now, running all those big paddy wheels. See, there you are, and you go there, you see. So now it is self-sustaining even in energy. Under the tree we have the shade. Okay, so I have to, let's go to Rocky and ask for the donation that he promised to our ministry. Don't say, right? The Another Chance Ministry.
Another chance.
Yeah, of course.
Another
Okay.
chance.
Sabi about moringa. Ito yung moringa yan si doktor, na, ay, nakakapundang, nakakapsin. Pero yung capsule na yan, that's purely. So, kung ngayon ang product ng kaibigan, 1% Ito kasi ng moringa, yung kasi ganyan seed, meron siyang bacteria static yung pad niya. Yung pad. Nagamit siya sa seed. At the same time, nakukontrol yung mold. So with moringa, combined with the seed, na kinukonvert at the same time, it controls even the may ibang aside from the seed, it controls the other kasi may bacteria isa yung pagkawin sa di ba yung so nung kasi nga nakita ko ano ang naman ano ang compare yung yung ginagawa natin yung bang importante rin so alam nila wow nakita ko natin natin yung malunggay yung terapia with a malunggay kasi nga the reason that's doing that kasi nga yung tilapia will grow in a natural habitat kasi nga yung most of these tilapia they are growing sa farm so ngayon naman nag-study kayo with the malunggay and with all these nutrients na binigay but starting ko na yung sa unang ginagawa ko so ngayon yung mga moringa natin na sa may kaya anong influence yung klaseng so originally from Africa or India siyempre yung medyo malayo yung original na kanya wow gano'n kalaki okay ngayon yung for oil production ano naman yung makukuha sa oil niya hindi nga saan mo gagamitin mo yung oil na yun for medical magkano naman ang oil magkano naman ang oil magkano naman yun okay bumaba yung presyo, hindi ko Mhm. Yung, yeah. Mhm. Wow. Of the moringa oil, Di ba parang yung whale oil, yun ang ginagamit, talo sila doon. So pag moringa, kaya nga tinawag ng miracle plant. Uh-huh. Mhm. 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 Yeah, really. Mhm. Mhm. Uh-huh. These are old school. These are old school. Kaya ako man ganun. Yeah. That is the US is and then, yan din ang sinusuportahan ngayon ng government dahil nga sa pilot change na sinasabi nila. Kaya nga yung, yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah, dahil ito substitute. This is a big septic tank. Now, if you can do something about it, hindi pa. Sunod na. Dahil nga sa drought. Dahil sa drought. Grabe yan. So, ang concentration niya ng, so, ilang PPP na itong, wow! Dati nga dito ko, 45 lang. Yeah. Ngayon, yung short niya. So na, you can use that in industrializing the European island, di ba? Kamulang? Or something, yeah. Pero yung short niya, you can use in other, oh yeah, sahay. So, itong malaki ang potential ito for kasi ito na yan na natunaw. Kaya lang, alam mo yung kinakatakot ko dito? Dahil yan alam mo yung mga gases na namin sa ilalim yung lumabas na. Pagka wow. Pagka disaster ito malaki. Wow. Tapos this is a shipping time lang. Dahil sa Africa, may lake doon. Hindi na malaman. Why people died? Yan, hindi na alam. Kaya nga aking ganun Alam kaya yeah. Sabi nga yung mga betting ya. Sila mga kasi nga. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Kasi yung messengers na namin sa ilalim niya pwede mong gamitin na maraming gamit yan. At yung tilapia dyan, yun na. Wala na. Ay. Yeah. Pinabilisya na. Kasi, aha. Dahil ko nito species ito Saka meron ng ko nito genetic break na sabi nga sa akin nung kasi ito na po, in which can be used. Ikaw, nagdi mo. Kasi, this is a tilapia that can correct. And this is a tilapia that can be used for, international fish farming, international water, nakating. Sa dagat. Pero mas maganda ito. Ano naman ang kon? Talagang, pero ito ang talagang, dahil number one ito, kasi naman nakakang ganun talagang ito natural na nag-evolve. Hindi ba yung biglaan dahil when it happened to yung unang freshwater, yung way back 1960 yata in-introduction of 60, yung gamit sa Hawaii. Suddenly, dahan-dahan, saka na lang yun And then, by the time they know, they're already still up there. Something to it. Ngayon, that one evolved. Talagang natural ba? Walang kaya ito ang considered as the only species tilapia that can provide sa limiting nakitago. Pwede ilagay namin sa Red Sea. Well, ako ang gano'n. You know what? Rocky. That's the baby after kaya kakainin kay I took place in my music ability. Dahil hindi ko nakakagawa yun. Yeah. And then, anyway, yeah. Dahil una-una kasi, middle man. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Kaya nga yung ang sabi kaya yung sea placement, okay, like rocket we have done something out of the box. It's not because we are a businessman. We want to really help humanity. Dahil una kasi, the legacy is like, yeah, saka isa pa. Yeah. Kasi nga unang-una nga, the most important invention came from those people that had kind of action. Yeah, dahil unang-una nga akong ganun When I was there in Russia, during the independence social, everybody is laughing back. Ito yung tatawa ng ba? Ngayon pag video ko yung tatawa na nila. In which ako kasi nakangyan. I don't have to argue to anybody that don't know what is my purpose. Ngayon, hindi yung mga nandun na ginawa natin. Grabe ba? Kaya ko lang naman hindi sinonitip dahil nga ongoing yung kaso namin na the reason that I did not see them touch anything. No way, yeah. But, kasi nga eh, yeah, kasi nga yung, nope, nope. Yeah. Pareho tayo. Pareho tayo. Pareho tayo. Kaya let's say, yeah. Up to that to look at it. 50 years time is 365 and 3,650 divided by kasi naarawan na nung sila tao nga dito kay ako at mga gagawin ko na makakatulong. Alam mo, pinapako ko niya na investment tip. Sayang ba yung, kasi magandang kamukha ni Jack, is willing to learn from you. Grabe ba? Ako sa akin ganun na, ako napupambatik na, if I can only bring back it. Hey, you know, you have to make a little bit there, a little bit, professional. Sa edad natin is kasi, kaya na nakakang yun na yun, about 2 years dito. Pati nga ako na lang kayo doon. It's an honest person for me. Because, this is not, or once you start with this, it's branches. Marami ka bang makikita? It's branches with different kinds of kumakakas ng unit. I'm only thinking about putting up a business. And I saw what they're doing here. And then I get it on my new one. And then, kaya ako start to start development dahil nakita ko na medyo may konting way if you can really develop a good stuff that you know kasi kami yan ang napigit mo. So, yung people yun na nga, kaya nga nung sinabi mo na pag mga hybrid ka na, wala na. Ito nga yung you breed them, you apply colors, you modify the other. Yeah, of course, the concentrate that at some stage, you don't have to sacrifice it. Yun that even access to the ability that you can get kind of color. Kaya yung sa akin yung kulay na napakaganda. Sayang hindi. Dahil yung ba nakuha natin kulay and then now we develop yun. Hindi now we develop now yung paglaki. Hindi mo makukuha sila sa tama kasi you have to sacrifice. Kasi yan isa yan eh. So now we have this color. Kasi yung kulay na nakuha natin pati golden orange. Cherry red. Wow, ang wala. Yung orange. Yan, yung cherry red. Cherry red, todo na yan. Yung nakuha kong bago ngayon sa cherry red. Hindi po tayo natin. Sabi pa rin problema kasi black chip yan. Hindi parang po yung black chip. Pero nakuha natin yun nakuha na natin noon. Kaya lang na, yung growth rate niya, yun yung problema. So, you know na tayo yung paano nagmahal ng mahal ang space. Ang sasabi ko. Saka nakita ko yung ibang ano ko parang may balok sa buntot na may effect. Akin na ito. However, yung nakasuko natin is to purify yung kulay. Then after that, yung growth rate nyo yung sisili natin. Kasi na, you cannot do it one time. So yan because you're here trying to customize ba? Para sa pan mo lang ba? Kasi nga, ako lang muna kasi, yung sinasabi mo yung bloodline. Ang hirap ba yung development? parang manok din sinasabi mo kasi na wala akong alam sa genesis, mga F1, F2. Ako nga. Kaya naman ako na. Nakita ko yung biggest na naman. Yung kaya na ito. Ano, Marco, so wala na si Marco. Not one fourth of their everything. So I was mandated to the public. Kamusta naman yung kasi si Duterte sa Mindanao yun. Duterte sa Mindanao, nakita ko nga yung naugugol ko yung Muslim pa dito na si the traffic rancho is from Sakrong to Sampudara. You're like considered their missionaries. Yung matalas yung gusto naman napunta dito na may mga doctorate degree, ano naman ginawa? Ngayon, ang training technology ko ay panisya. Wow, dito na rin sa Kasama ang ulo pa rito. Yeah. Okay. Yung ginagawa nila. So, ngayon, yan, and then, habang ginagawa yun, hindi na black na sinusoto. Yeah. So, until now, so ngayon, what happened, after na nag-decide na sila na may tubig na, sabi nila, okay, may tubig na, tatanggalin nila ito. So, magsalay sila ng pump nila ng tubig dito, nakakapitate. Yeah, okay. So, dito ka nagpapak. Yeah. Pagkapitate niya, mag-pull-up. Sabi niya, naubos na natin. So, isa-clog. Pero, hindi pa naubos. Hindi. Nag-clog lang. Okay, hindi ka nag-clog. So, ngayon, kung babalikan mo siya, ipa-open mo ulit, same thing. Because they didn't realize paano kaya nalaman dahil sa exposure. Yeah. So what you do, after ang pipe mo, kailangan yung ilalim ng pipe mo sa parati. Ang technique nila is ganyan sa exposure. Hindi nila mag-expose yung material dito. Okay, you see now the point. Because your pipe needs to be closed. So when you pump, hindi magkamitate dito. Because water, ang intrusion ng water, is the plastic. So dapat yung ipan mo, dapat yung binubutas mo dito, tanggalin mo ito. At yung drill ka na, tanggal mo, ulog mo itong pipe ng plastic, 150,000 plus. Ito big dito. Yung bang ginagawa kayo? Yung oil, sa oil. Yung technology ng oil. Basta, ang technology, tuhog mo gawin. So, ang simple lang. So, kaya sila ba yan? Yeah. Abisay, sila ng pump. Dito ang pump nila, isasak niya parang sila. Dito. Flat. So, ito ng tubig. Diba? Yung pipe mo na ito eh. Flat lang siya. Yung tubig, pasok siya. Flat. Yan, pag nag-pump ka, naglalagay ka ng another column dito. Where along the line, kung dito yung water level mo, hindi ka lang kumukuha. Diba? Wala. Kahit wala yung mga engineer ng mga makuha. Yung bakwan mo dito, yung pump. Kamusta naman yung water level dito? Tumaas na. Oh yeah. Wow. Mabayad ka. Eh, kung solar mo naman, how many yung mahigit na yung wala ka ito yan. Patay ka. So, get it. Diba? Kasi yung nga ang una mong sinabi this is the first na kumakain ng especially pagka nag-expand ka na, lumaki ka na. Yeah. Yeah. Eh, kung solar mo, sino nag-maintain yung solar panel mo? Okay rin. Ilang taon na yun siya? So, pare, hindi yun ba yung kanyang performance so far? Okay. Mm-hmm. Yung sa panel. Or para maipakit na igogma na ibigay. Yun naman sa stage mo. Ilang percent ang nabigit na by manufacturing your own engineer? Okay. So, wala bang mo-order sa'yo? Oh, you are under research ka pa rin. Yari ka. Yeah. Ngayon, ito ba'y pinapand ng government for research and wala pa? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So how many kind of variety ng nasayo? So, meron ka ng mga pure species na kasi yan, pwedeng ito yan, develop a certain type of marunggay na ito lang meron. That is, naku, grabe yan. Ang laking pera yan. At saka yung cannabis. Kasi, yung oil, yung oil ang pinakalaban mo. Anyway, sabi na dalawa mo, wala lang sa barangay. Grabe. Grabe. Control. Yung pa nila, yung yeah. Wow. Yung bisita sa mga bisita. Ikaw mo. Pag-aalis sa marami yun. Kasi yan, yung barangay na yan eh. Yung net mo talaga. Wow. Because yan, meron siyang property, may detoxifying property, plus yung antioxidants niya. Anak ng ako, this is miracle tree talaga. Malimit sa tama yung malugaya. Ano nangyari sa Jetro ba? Wala. O yan. Eh, yung balugay eh, yung sistat sa ko yun eh. Narisistat niya sa mga, yun lang nga eh. At tawag nga sa balugay sa ako eh, never die. Akala mo patay niya eh. Lalabas ko naman. Pero puro sa sistat niya. iyong yan. Pero pagka papatay mo. Pero yun na ang kikilos na. Kaya kakakun, pinabayaan ni Kipik. May purpose pala. You have a purpose. Yan. Very na tumeta. Paglalaki mo siguro. Those are things na kakuha na ay hindi ko lumakon ba yung mga yeah. Ako magandang dito kay Don Q. I really appreciate yung time that I been with Rocky because I understand that Rocky is a person who can go out of the task. Those yung mga investors iba, hindi mo maiintindi. Yung ating mga ginawa nung na take the risk. Really learn. Kung gusto ko sa akin, marami tayong pinapatay, marami tayong sinuro dito just to get ready the right na study. But the negative and the positive factors na nakita natin, those are all important. Okay, for research and development, there's nothing there that is important. Negative. It's really important. Like, alam mo na paano how to check it. Kasi ikukumpare mo yan. And then, yeah, that's one step. Everything. Yeah, to success. You have to say to success. Kaya yung ginagawa ko sa mga student members, that is what I learned. How people think really do. Being homeless. Kung makikita. The true essence how this society works, that these people, man, even if who will believe sa sinasabi ko, ako'y unit, dahil sinistura ko. However, yung mga pulis yung ako'y nakonect na may nag-aapuan, yung sinusasan pa ako, how humiliating siya. Nandun pa sa lugar ng mga Pilipino, na dumadaan na kotse, alam mo naman makikita ka ng Pilipino pa rin, nung nandun yung dalawang pulis, sabi ko nga ng sargento rin, you know what, don't lie to me. You see this wrong? I'm well experienced, so I would like to ask something that you should answer me. Answer. Okay, what's your name? Siguro nasa lugar na pulis. Siguro yung PCA niya, or what? Whatever, okay, spell it. Spell ko. Family name, Tajaman, spell it. Your address. I'm a homeless, I don't have any address. Okay, your previous address. Another one. Can you see that his name is inside the car? Yung lugar daw sila makikita. Okay. Bakit ganoon, I'm writing my journal that I got. It's in the front, passing the side of the car. And it's a black journal. And you will see that meaning that I said. Okay? Are you sure about it? I'm going to give you another chance. Okay? It's in there. Hindi ngayon. Hindi na binuksan. Pinakita mo sa akin, it's this. The journal is talking about. Yes, sir. Hindi na ba intervention. Okay. Very quick. It's to the first stage. Hindi ginawa. Nasa likuran siya. Hindi ko naman dito sa likuran ko. Okay. Are you sure ba? Are you open it? Kasi sa pagkakit ko, hindi nakikita ko sa pagkakit. Nakatawa yung nasa likuran mo. Kasi ano ka na din? Hindi mo. Do you know really who he is? He is, his life is dedicated in being research and for the benefit of the humanity. Well, ngayon, hindi ka joke or what, anak ito mo tapos tapos pag nila, ayan na. Portado na ng ako sa everything in Google, and then pag nun, sabi mo sila, and then sabi mo sa akin, ako yung present. Explain ko, is this current specific? Yes, sir. Okay. I'm using the term of it, but it's nice. Use a lot. I'm doing it. And I'm doing experts in the library. And I don't use this term because it's not even it's not even registered right now. Okay. So I just use it where I say because maybe feel like a homeless guy. Really like if you you in area, you can be seen by anybody. So I just use that, but during the day I went inside. The night time I put it there because it's not registered, so I should park it inside the private but at night I go there. So I just use that permission that. Okay. You know that the first number of the clock and the sun is not it gives a number to hit it out. It's a jump. One of my friends says that because my body right now my body is not believing it unless I can rewrite on my phone. And one of the things already writing for hypothesis, and I'm still doing a lot of thinking. And before I go to the lawyer, now all you have to do, at least you know for there's nothing there that was done. Anyway, just correct, update everything. And the unit can help them. No, okay. At least I can still manage it. Okay. Dahil nakita nga nila kasi yung what I'm doing, I cannot make them sense. I would feel much faster. Like sinabi sa Hindu, that he is well trained, well educated. If I'm going to go to police, we are here to protect her. Right? Hindi ko naman sinasabi ko sa mga Pilipino na yung nakita ng dumating na ito, alam mo naman yung iba din, takot na sumusulit. Takbo na ba sila? Naku, sabi, patay na ang president. Wala nang iba yung suligan. Matutong, basta kasi pagkatapos sabi ko sa aking pagkain ko. Thank you very much, sir. I'm happy to meet you. If you're going to stream services, and they will see something, we inform them. So we see that, yeah, being homeless kasi, you are a burden to the society, di ba sir? Mayroon nakita nila, there is a cause why I became homeless because of things abusive employee of people. Diba? Diba ba? Yung pala sa kanin. Tapusin ko lang itong ko.